Audio and video is clear. Good afternoon, Abhinav. Once again, this is my Telegram channel, people. You can send in your answers and any queries that you can post it over here. So, Henry Fayol, we wound up and we had started our discussion with Gulick and Ervik, and we are still continuing the same. So far, what we know about Gulick and Ervik is they gave 29 principles. 29 principles which can be used as a framework for ऑर्गेनाइजेशन दैट यानी कि वो 29 प्रिंसिपल्स में आप जो चाहते हैं वो इस्तेमाल कर कर आप फ्रेमवर्क बना सकते हैं. जो चाहिए आप ले लो, जो नहीं चाहते हैं छोड़ दो. लेकिन जो भी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है ये 29 प्रिंसिपल्स जरूरी होगा उसे बनाने के लिए. दैट इज व्हाट Gulick and Ervik has stressed on. Plus they also give post-corp. Now these are things what we have seen so far. All right. Good afternoon, Lipika. Good afternoon, Prince. Now taking the discussion further forward, delegation. Administrators should keep the requisite authority with them and delegate the rest to the subordinates. They discussed how and when to delegate authority. Organizations cannot function efficiently if executives didn't know how to delegate and when to delegate. Best example is PRIs and municipalities. अब इसके वजह कहता हूं. So have you ever wondered why the cities in India are so poorly managed? Classic example is Delhi right now. The worst polluted city in India right now. And it is a shame, actually. It is a matter of shame that the capital city of the country has become uninhabitable. Air quality worst, severe, यानी कि एयर क्वालिटी इंडेक्स का सबसे ऊपर वाला सबसे वर्स्ट बेंचमार्क जो भी है वो भी पार कर कर कहीं पहुंचा है दिल्ली का हवा का एयर क्वालिटी अभी. क्लियर? But why? And if you compare it, is it that in other cities things are better? Comparatively better. But if you come to Bangalore, air quality is good, no doubt about it. But that has got nothing to do with the city administration or the state administration. It is the geographic advantage that Bangalore enjoys, which is what 3,000 feet above sea level. Sea level के ऊपर है वो 3,000 feet. मतलब क्या है? It's at a topmost. It's almost like a hill station. हवा आते ही रहेगी. Here in Bangalore right now, it's winter season right now. And winter season means what? It is not just that you feel cold. Cold wind also blows. In Delhi, there is no option called a cold air will blow. Air is just stuck over there. So each city, if you visit, you will find many problems associated with it. Sanitation, waste management, drinking water, traffic congestion, pressure on land, pressure on groundwater. ये सारा चीज क्यों? Because we got independence in 1947. Uske almost, let us say, close to 50, not exactly 50, maybe 46 or 47 years, but close to 50 years baad hi, we started actually thinking something about what? Local governance. In the form of Panchayati Raj institutions and municipalities. तब तक हम क्या कर रहे थे? सारा ध्यान सिर्फ दो चीज पर थे. यूनियन गवर्नमेंट, स्टेट गवर्नमेंट. We are only focusing on these two things. Union, state. So as a result of this, if you actually see, no concentration was ever given to local governance. आज के दिन पर how are things? Center is there, state is there, PRIs as well as municipalities are also there. We know India is a federal state with a strong center. सेंटर के पास सबसे ज्यादा ताकत और पावर है, agreed. But states and PRIs or municipalities have enough freedom to decide on their respective subjects. जैसे कि PRIs can decide on the rural road infrastructure, municipalities can decide on the flooding and the sanitation policy, etc., the sewage management in the cities. So ऐसे we have delegated things. सारा काम क्यों सेंटर करना है? Let states also do their own work. PRIs और municipalities also let them do own work. इसके लिए सेंटर अभी क्या कर रहे हैं? Center has basically reduced the number of centrally sponsored schemes. सेंट्रली स्पॉन्सर्ड स्कीम्स और सेंट्रल सेक्टर स्कीम में फर्क क्या है? सेंट्रल सेक्टर schemes means 100% sponsored by center. Central sponsored schemes means it will depend 60-40 schemes के ऊपर डिपेंड करेगा, but in on a sharing basis. कुछ schemes के लिए it could be 60% by center, 40 by states, 70 by center, 30 by states. Northeast states के लिए it can be 90-10 or in some cases 100-0. Depends, but it's on a sharing basis. Sure about it? So this is the thing. So abhi, why is it that centrally sponsored schemes are being reduced? देखो, centrally sponsored schemes, sometimes center may feel education is important. State may say, see, education we don't want. We want other development projects. So always there will be a clash, a conflict between on what they should focus on. So center is like, चलो एक काम करते हैं. I will reduce this. And what is the best thing? Best thing to do is to tell states, do what suits you. आपको जो सही लग रहा है वो आप कर लीजिए, मेरा इंतजार मत कर. That is the idea here. You do what you feel is right according to your state. जो आपको सबसे जरूरी है वो आप कर लीजिए. What is happening there? Delegation it is. Center is still strong. Center is still strong. लेकिन एक स्टेट का जो भी प्रॉब्लम है उस स्टेट से ज्यादा और किसको मालूम होगा? गेटिंग द पिक्चर हियर. स्टेट को विल नो व्हाट आर देयर ड्रॉबैक्स, कहां कहां परेशानियां हैं, मुश्किलें हैं, क्या क्या करना पड़ेगा. द स्टेट विल नो. So rather than center coming and telling do this, do that, center is like जा बेटा जा, जी ले अपनी जिंदगी, तुम्हें जो करना है तू कर ले. तो इसके लिए फंड कहां से आएगा? फंड विल कम फ्रॉम transfers from FC. Or 1 minute. Transfers based on FC recommendation. फाइनेंस कमीशन के रिकमेंडेशन के हिसाब से स्टेट विल गेट देयर फंड. कर लो जो करना है, तुम्हें मिल गया है तेरा पैसा, तू कर ले जो करना है, मैं नहीं इंटरफियर करने वाला इसमें. दैट इज डेलीगेशन. सेंटर इज नॉट गोइंग एंड कमिंग एंड टेलिंग डू दिस डू दैट, ये डेवलपमेंट करो वो करो, नथिंग. So this is the idea here. When we say delegation, that is a simple idea. Clear, people? Any doubt? Mind you, all these very important topics, very, very important for your GS paper 2, GS paper 3, plus paper 2 of PubAd, पूरा का पूरा important है. आगे. Urvik maintains that authority and responsibility must be coterminous, co-equal and defined. I already told you this, already explained it to you. मतलब जितना ज्यादा जिम्मेदारी उतना ज्यादा authority. Zimmedari of the collector is more. That is why collector has more powers compared to a village officer. Executives must delegate their responsibility and must be held accountable for actions of their subordinates. They emphasize the principle of correspondence of responsibility and authority. Same point only. 1 minute. I'll remove that away because otherwise you will get confused. So this we have already seen. Executives must delegate their responsibility and must be held accountable for actions of their subordinates, which we discussed yesterday. Coming to span of control. The principle of span of control postulates that an official cannot control more than a certain number of subordinates at any given point of time. ये point इन लोगों ने जो कहा है, I have already proven it to you कि ये जो point है, this is not true in the current context. Why? Because neither Gulick nor Urvik would have thought कि टेक्नोलॉजी इतना डेवलप हो जाएगा जहां पर एक सिंपल व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप के जरिए यू कैन कंट्रोल एज मेनी सबऑर्डिनेट्स एज यू वांट. सिंपल सी बात है. नाउ इफ यू हैव, आई डोंट नो हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू हैव जॉइन्ड द टेलीग्राम ग्रुप, लेकिन इन द टेलीग्राम ग्रुप इफ यू सी 5526 people are there. I agree, not all will be active, because if you go to the discussion group also, there you have 1075. In 1075 at any given point of time, you may have around 100 or 120 people only maximum who are looking at every post, reading everybody's answer, reading my comments and all that. Usse zyada nahi. Maximum I'm telling. But still 120 is a huge number by the standards of Gulick and Urvik. नो सुपरवाइजर कैन सुपरवाइज डायरेक्टली द वर्क ऑफ मोर देन 5 or 6 सबॉर्डिनेट्स, उर्विक ने कहा था, विच इज अगेन नॉट ट्रू इन द करंट कॉन्टेक्स्ट. If subordinates increases by arithmetic progression, then the supervision increases by permutations and combinations. वो भी सही नहीं है. That is, पूरा मतलब ये है, subordinates अगर आप increase करोगे, you will need more seniors to handle them. Again, not true. Urvik, however, stressed that the span of control was not a rigid rule to be applied woodenly in all situations. तो मतलब क्या है, स्पैन ऑफ कंट्रोल कोई रिजिड रूल नहीं है विच शुड बी अप्लाइड इन ऑल सिचुएशंस. मतलब क्या है, हो सकता है सबऑर्डिनेट्स थोड़ा ज्यादा भी हो, 6 के जगह 8 या 10 हो सकता है, बट अगेन उर्विक वुड हैव नेवर थॉट 100-200 ये सब पॉसिबल है. गेटिंग द पॉइंट हियर. Gulick, however, discussed some of the factors that determine the span of control. It would depend on each individual supervisor की intellect and personality, time and energy. So, how many subordinates a supervisor will be able to handle will depend upon their brain, their personality, उनके पास कितना वक्त है और उनका एनर्जी. All right. It depended upon the kind of work, routine, repetitive, measurable and homogeneous versus diversified, qualitative and scattered workers. अगर काम जो है रोज करने वाला काम है, रेपिटेटिव है, आप उसे मेजर कर सकते हैं, सिंपल सा काम है, एक ही काम रोज करना है, then you can handle a big team also. आराम से you can handle. Let us say here in this building now, एक cleaning team है, security team है, correct? Cleaning team का काम क्या है? रोज cleaning करना. Can I measure it? Not mathematically, I cannot measure it, but I can definitely come and check. Did they clean all the 3 rooms? Did they clean all the studios? I can check it. सिक्योरिटी का कब आया था, कब गया था, कौन कौन से शिफ्ट पर कौन कौन थे, आई कैन मेजर इट. सो क्लीनिंग टीम में इजीली यू विल हैव फॉर ईच फ्लोर खुल मिलाकर यू विल हैव अराउंड लेट अस से 5 पीपल. सिक्योरिटी टीम भी अगर ऐड करोगे तो यू हैव अराउंड 8 पीपल. आई कैन हैंडल इट. दैट्स एन ईजी टास्क, नॉट अ डिफिकल्ट थिंग. डाइवर्सिफाइड, क्वालिटेटिव, स्कैटर्ड वर्कर्स. डाइवर्सिफाइड, अलग अलग काम कर रहे हैं, अलग अलग काम. जैसे कि फिजिक्स वाला, अंडर फिजिक्स वाला, दिस इज द यूपीएससी वर्टिकल. फिजिक्स वाला ऑल्सो हैव अ वर्टिकल फॉर नीट. there is a vertical called for IIT. Then there is another vertical for net exam. Then there is another vertical for state service exam. ऐसे ऐसे करके अलग अलग लोग, अलग अलग वर्टिकल्स हैं. So अलग अलग verticals के लिए you have one senior for all of this. I mean, each has one senior. I cannot place one person at the top of UPSC, NEET का exam, NET का exam, सारे exams के लिए. That is not possible. I need to have a head for each of this. They will answer to one head, main head. Maybe it could be Alex sir or somebody else. But that is how it is done. So what they are telling is it will depend upon the type of work. It will depend upon the type of personality. It will depend upon the time. It will depend upon the energy. They told about everything, and it is true. It is very true. We are not denying any of this. Will it depend upon the personality? Absolutely yes. Will it depend upon their energy, time? Yes. The nature of work? Yes. But what Gulick and Urvik never, ever, ever thought about was what? कि भैया टेक्नोलॉजी नाम का एक चीज भी है. एंड व्हाई डिडंट दे थिंक अबाउट इट? बिकॉज ऑफ द टाइम पीरियड. वी आर ऑल अ प्रोडक्ट ऑफ आवर टाइम्स. मतलब हमारा सोच, विचार और काम करने का तरीका जो है उस वक्त के एक हिसाब है. Getting the point? Simple, another simple, easy to understand logic I will tell you. Now, in the olden days, when I was preparing, that is not olden days means not so far away also, maybe say 12 years ago. So when I was preparing, for us, when the faculty used to come to class on time, that was a big deal. Wah, waqt par aa gaya, thank God. And we used to wait half an hour, 45 minutes, sometimes even 1 hour. We used to wait for the faculty. And the faculty used to come and teach, and we'll go. And we were like waiting. We just wanted to ask this doubt, that doubt. Because if you go to the faculty, for some minimum some 50 to 100 people will be there surrounding him or her. कहाँ से पूछेंगे, क्या पूछेंगे? Getting the point? Today it has come to a point where students, more than trying to learn from the faculty, they are trying to challenge the faculty. क्या इसे ये सब पता है? क्या ये सही है? क्या इसे कुछ मालूम है क्या? जरा इसका टेस्ट कर देखेंगे. Getting the point here? They are not, and ऊपर से they are not even ready to stretch the class. 2 घंटा means only 2 घंटा. We don't want any more class other than that. They are very clear. They do, even if the faculty is ready to take an extra half an hour or 1 hour, they are like, we don't want. Getting the point? Why? It's a generational change. Why generational change? Because these days, the maximum attention span of any person, even on online, is what? 5 to 7 seconds. मतलब 5 to 7 seconds के अंदर जो भी वीडियो वो लोग देख रहे हैं should attract them. Only if it attracts them, they will watch the rest of the video. And that too only if it is less than 30 seconds. More than 30 seconds means they won't have any interest in watching it. That is the patience level. So same thing with faculties also. Maximum 2 hours. Why? Product of the time. So it has nothing to do with, okay, this generation is bad, that earlier generation was good. No. It has nothing to do with talking about good and bad. Good and bad is all relative. Point here is, why is it that the current generation of students are behaving in such a fashion? They are a product of their times. That is the main reason. Clear, people? Time span, stable organization versus dynamic organization. That is the other thing. Organization that is, say, stable. Means what? No internal trouble. सब कुछ अच्छा चल रहा है. Everything is organized. Dynamic organization that keeps changing, keeps updating itself. So with every updation that happens, automatically what happens? Either you will need more seniors or less seniors. Depends how you are changing. Getting the point? Stable organization means it functions as it is. There is no major changes to it. जो सालों से चल रहा है वो चल रहा है. जैसे कि प्लानिंग कमीशन, सालों से काम करने का वही घिसा पिटा हुआ तरीका. Dynamic organization, best example is Niti Aayog, because it has to come out with solutions for the new problems. Any questions here, people? Taking the discussion further forward. Human factor and time in public administration. Gulick noted, based on 50 years of analysis, after all, governments are constituted of human beings, are run by human beings, and have as their main job helping, controlling, and serving human beings. मतलब 50 साल के बाद he basically told, okay, government, when you say, are constituted of human beings, run by human beings, and have as their main job helping, controlling, and serving human beings. यानी कि whatever it is, government is run by people, for the people, of the people. It's all people, 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 people. Gulick emphasizes that human beings are key to understanding and guiding public administration into the future. अगर पब्लिक एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन आपको समझना है और पब्लिक एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन को फ्यूचर तक अगर आपको लेकर चलना है, देन व्हाट इज द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग टू डू? The most important thing to do will be give emphasis to human beings. Very, very, very important point. ना वुड्रो विल्सन, ना F.W. टेलर, ना फायोल ऐसा कुछ पॉइंट कहा था कि पब्लिक एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन को अगर आपको आगे लेकर चलना है तो सिर्फ एक ही चीज उसे आगे लेकर चल सकते हैं, और वो कौन है? ह्यूमन बींग्स. मतलब ह्यूमन बींग्स क्या चाहते हैं उसके हिसाब से आप चलो. लोग क्या चाहते हैं उसके हिसाब से आप काम को आगे लेकर चलो. दैट इज द पॉइंट. सिंपल फंडा. अब ये पूजा खेतकर के वजह से, आई होप यू पीपल आर अवेयर ऑफ दिस नेम, नोबडी इज गोइंग टू फॉरगेट इट एनी टाइम सून. ये पूजा खेतकर के वजह से, कैन यू टेल मी व्हाट चेंज यूपीएससी इज गोइंग टू ब्रिंग फ्रॉम नेक्स्ट ईयर? Tell me, what change is going to happen? This is also very important because otherwise we don't know. Many people are not still aware about it. So we need to understand. Anybody, can you tell me, यूपीएससी क्या चेंज लाने वाले हैं 2025 से? They will ensure proper backgrounds are checked. How, Lipika? Proper background check, that will be definitely there, no doubt about it. लेकिन I don't know how many of you are aware here, पूजा खेतकर क्या किया था यहां पर. Now basically she is not the OBC candidate that she was claiming herself to be. She was actually filthy rich. As rich as it will get. So what she did was, वो जो initial का चक्कर है ना, पूजा whatever, one initial will be there. Initial आगे पीछे बीच में सब कुछ लगा कर, and because she has multiple residences also, multiple residential address के जरिए she gave each time another name. That is how she was able to give more than, I think 15 attempts or something, 10 to 12, 13, 14 attempts or something she gave. Okay, how was she able to do that? By changing her initial idhar se udhar se idhar and all that. So what they are going to do is, more than 7 times, extra 7 times. What she is going to do is, what the UPSC is going to do is, first thing that they are going to do is, Aadhaar biometrics will be used. Number 1. Number 2, AI will also be used. Whoever are applying and whatever photographs and details are there with the government, they will compare it with that. UPSC already जो पहले से apply किया, they'll compare those photographs and see. अगर एक ही नाम का या फिर एक ही फोटो का दो अलग अलग नाम, नेम 1, नेम 2 आ गया है, उस कैंडिडेट का कैंडिडेचर बार्ड होगा. नीडलेस टू से the physically disabled certificate, the OBC non-creamy layer certificate, or even SC/ST certificate, the EWS certificate, इन सब का thorough जांच होगा this time. That is how, why it has happened, thanks to this female here. The demand has automatically come because Pooja Khetkar's candidature exposed the loopholes in the selection process of UPSC. So demand aa gaya. UPSC chairman resigned, taking moral responsibility. The naya chairperson or chairman, whoever is there, he or she, what are they going to do? Next year, they will ensure that there is no nonsense happening over here in these things. And anybody, if they catch, if you go and say, sir, sorry, sir, but say, ek bar galti hui, sir, all that, if you try to do also, there will be no use because the result is going to be the same. Permanently barred from the exam. Straight away. Getting the picture? That will be the punishment. Take people will be scared henceforth to do it. UPSC starts this. How long do you think it will take for other exams to follow this? Be it SSC or be it SSC or be it let us say banking exam, railways exam, NEET exam, IIT exam, इन सब में भी ये सब कर सकते हैं. Getting the point here? Again, Department of Efficiency. How many people have heard of this Department of Efficiency? Department of Efficiency. Can anybody tell me where it has been? Where have you heard of this? State PSC. There also it will come. Department of Efficiency has been opened up in USA. It is a creation of the president of USA. Current president, that is Donald Trump. And what is its main purpose? Main purpose is to bring down, cut down government's wasteful expenditure. True. This is also a demand. खर्च कैसे कम करवा दे गवर्नमेंट का? Why? It is a demand from the side of the people. So accordingly, new departments may come, old departments may shut down. All of that can happen. Why? Ultimately, people are the main factor there. Indian scenario may we already know the example of what? एयर इंडियाज प्राइवेटाइजेशन. प्राइवेटाइज क्यों किया था? क्योंकि पूरा का पूरा लॉस था. माई टैक्स मनी, योर टैक्स मनी, all of that was being used to fund an organization that was running at constant loss. भेज दिया, खत्म बात. Getting the point here? He argues that the state's primary function should be human welfare and improvement to meet environmental challenges rather than focusing on war. The 50 saal, when you say, you must understand, this was during that First World War, Second World War, उन सबके बीचों बीच में छोटे छोटे जंग were happening इधर उधर everywhere. So basically he said that stop engaging in war and start thinking about जनता का भला and improvement to meet environment का अलग अलग challenges like poverty, unemployment, health related issues, illiteracy. Structure of modern state is specifically designed for war and is distinctly military. That is what he told. स्टेट का जो जनरल स्ट्रक्चर जो है एक मिलिट्री का मिलिट्री जैसा है. ऊपर में एक हायर लेवल ऑफिसर, उनके नीचे जूनियर, उनके नीचे एक और जूनियर. सो सेम मिलिट्री स्ट्रक्चर इज देयर फॉर द स्टेट. ये जंग के लिए सही है, लोगों का भला के लिए नहीं. गेटिंग द पॉइंट हियर. Authority is concentrated at the top with work being delegated to subordinates. With work being delegated to subordinates without delegation of authority. Manipulation is made of hard statistics in terms of material and manpower and line and staff and not human values and human welfare. Very important point. Manipulation. तो ये ऊपर का चीज क्या है? That simply means power is there. Where? Top level पर. And they give responsibility down, but they don't give authority. Responsibility नीचे नीचे देता है, नीचे जो officers जो है, they keep getting more and more responsibilities, but actually they don't have much powers. Best example, take policing. सबसे ज्यादा काम कौन कर रहा है पुलिस डिपार्टमेंट में? Constables and inspectors. 24/7 they are working. 24/7. बंदोबस्त जाओ, मर्डर जाओ, रेप जाओ, पोस्टमार्टम हॉस्पिटल, देन टेक द विटनेस स्टेटमेंट, उसके लिए भी जाओ. कहां कहां जाएंगे? Getting the point. And do they have that much power? That is also not there. Getting the point. For the first time when I was in Delhi only, I had witnessed this, where a person was shouting at a constable at the top of his voice. Like he was literally pointing his finger and speaking, "Tu zyada baat mat kar, sikha dunga tujhe ke tera औकात क्या है." He was literally shouting. The constable was staring at him with one look at that constable, you will feel sorry for him. They are the people who interact with the public and who have to listen to public's dant, shouts, abuses, everything. Getting the point? What authority do they have? Arrest करने के लिए भी they need permission from the top. Got the picture? Manipulation is made of hard statistics in terms of material and manpower and line and staff and not human values and human welfare. मतलब क्या है? कितना मटेरियल चाहिए, कितना ह्यूमन बींग्स चाहिए, पर्सनल चाहिए, कितने लोग बन जाएंगे एडवाइजर्स, कितने लोग इंप्लीमेंटेशन के लिए चाहिए. ऑल दीज नंबर गेम्स, इट इज स्टैटिस्टिक्स. सब के सब इन चीजों में देख रहे हैं. ओके, हाउ मेनी आईएएस वी नीड, how many IAS officers are getting promoted, how many IAS officers are resigning, all this number games these are. But are we even thinking about values, welfare? Not at all. All the above vocabulary are military in origin. Gulick emphasized on decentralization rather than centralized hierarchical military structure. मतलब क्या है? आज के जमाने में आई विल टेल यू व्हाट इज द मीनिंग. सो in Indian context, I will give you the example for this. So earlier the administration was pretty much simple. You had union at the top, then states below it. Correct? All centralized power. And I told you also India is a federation with a powerful center. लेकिन आज के जमाने में is the center really powerful? The center was really powerful. We can say why it is powerful. Yes, we can say. Yes, why? Because look at the certain decisions that it took. One was demonetization. Then surgical strikes. Article 370's abrogation. ये सारे के सारे चीजें when you see, you can see the center is powerful. But why it is not powerful? No. Why? जहां तक फार्म बिल्स के बारे में 3 फार्म बिल्स के बात अगर ले लोगे तो सेंटर हैड टू डू अ कंप्लीट यू टर्न, पूरा का पूरा यू टर्न ले लिया था. बिल्स लाया, देन दे हैड टू टेक इट बैक. व्हाई? Power is decentralized. Power is not henceforth lying with the government alone. तो आज के तारीख पर if you want to define power, you have union government, you have state government, you have local government, panchayati raj, municipalities, all of that. Then you also have private sector. You have, okay, not there. You have NGOs. You have civil society organizations. You have media, both conventional media and social media. And obviously, you also have what? Judiciary. सबके पास powers है. And all of this will have an impact on what? All of this will have an impact on the public. किसके पास ज्यादा पावर्स है? क्या हम ये कह सकते हैं कि हाँ गवर्नमेंट इज ताकतफुल? NGOs are also very powerful today. Civil society organizations are powerful today. Why? Private sector is also powerful. Point is, you cannot actually say government के पास ताकत है. ताकत अभी जो है, it is decentralized. किसी एक जगह से सारा फैसला नहीं आ रहा है. फैसला लेना या फैसला निभाना, all this are getting distributed today. Olden days also I'll agree, judiciary was there, I'm not denying it. लेकिन आज क्या हो रहा है, इवन जुडिशरी का ताकत जो है, इट इज बिकमिंग मोर एविडेंट. उस जमाने में पीपल डिडंट नो हाउ टू एक्सेस इट. बहुत कम लोग ही जुडिशरी का रिसोर्सेज एक्सेस कर सकते थे. आजकल क्या हो रहा है, जुडिशरी खुद चीजें समझकर दे देमसेल्फ आर डूइंग इट. If the state is failing, I'll give you a very interesting example. Today morning, an old student had messaged me. I'll read out the news. Supreme Court constitutes committee headed by former High Court judge. Q. To resolve the grievances of protesting farmers at the Shambhu border, Haryana. शंभू बॉर्डर पर फार्मर्स प्रोटेस्ट कर रहा है. ओके, उनके कुछ मांगे हैं. आइडियली व्हेन फार्मर्स आर प्रोटेस्टिंग और एनी पर्सन इज प्रोटेस्टिंग, हु शुड टेक अ कॉल इन इट? या तो गवर्नमेंट उससे सॉल्व करना पड़ेगा, या तो पार्लियामेंट, या फिर और लेजिस्लेटिव असेंबली ऑफ द स्टेट, है ना. बट नो, जुडिशरी इज कमिंग फॉरवर्ड. Judiciary is coming forward and telling, do one thing, we will set up a committee of a retired high court judge. We will listen to what the farmers have to say and we will recommend the policies. Dekho Kamal? Getting the point here. So this is where things are headed to. तो गुली कहीं ना कहीं एक विजनरी था, क्योंकि कौन से जमाने में बैठकर he has made this statement at a time when even computers were not there. He made it a statement that the future is what? He emphasized on decentralization rather than centralized hierarchical military structure. He suggests that public administration should forget the non-existent economic man, deal realistically with the non-existent free market, and include human welfare and compassion in its embrace. What is compassion? Human welfare तो सबको मालूम होगा, लेकिन can you tell me what is compassion? Compassion. कंपैशन का मतलब यह है, you want to help somebody who is suffering. सिर्फ सिंपैथी दिखाने के लिए नहीं, अरे बेचारा आपके साथ बहुत बुरा हुआ. नो, I know what you're going through is very bad. Let me try to help you. Let me try to lift you up. That is the idea there. Let me try to bring you up. So compassion is a quality. So he suggests that public administration should forget the non-existent economic man. Why non-existent economic man? ये economic man कौन है? Economic man वो है always takes rational decisions. हमेशा जो भी फैसला लेता है एकदम प्रॉपर फैसला. वहां इमोशंस के जरिए दे विल नॉट रिएक्ट. नो इमोशंस. They will only take rational decisions. ऐसा कोई इंसान है क्या जो 24 घंटे रैशनली सोचता है अपने इमोशंस को काबू में रखकर? बहुत मुश्किल है. That is why he is telling, forget the economic man and focus on human welfare and compassion. लोगों का भला, लोग क्या चाहते हैं वो करो, उसके पीछे जाओ. आगे Gulick emphasizes that time is a crucial factor in every event. Gulick notes that all public policy innovations are rooted in timing, and in democracy, timing is the hallmark of statecraft. Gulick identifies 5 different aspects of time. वक्त. स्टेट क्राफ्ट में, पब्लिक एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन में सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट चीज अगर कुछ है तो वो है वक्त. इन डेमोक्रेसी टाइमिंग इज द हॉलमार्क ऑफ स्टेट क्राफ्ट. कब, कहां, कैसे, उसमें वो कब इंपॉर्टेंट है. व्हेन आर यू डूइंग समथिंग मैटर्स. So 2016, just 2 years after they came into power, what did the government do? Went for demonetization. Timing was perfect. Why? चुनाव अभी भी दूर थे. Demonetization, you must understand, 14, 15, 16, things were going very smoothly only. If demonetization was not done also, things would have gone smoothly. तो उस वक्त पर decision to go for demonetization was a political suicide. Was a political suicide. Why political suicide? Could have led to a civil war. Imagine people keeping on going on, standing in long queues. They would have got tired of it. They would have literally hated the government. Getting the point? That was also possible. There were people who hated the government who still hate the government. That is secondary. But my point is, majority would have hated the government. And that could also be the reason why it was a politically bad decision. Politically, because they could have easily, on the name of demonetization, so they could have easily lost the next election. But when did they time it? In 16. Election was still another 3 years away. Intelligent. Timing. Getting the point here. So when are you timing it? Matters. Time as an input. When are you launching something? When are you launching surgical strike? When are you launching Balakot air strike? When did you do abrogation of Article 370? Matters. Time as an output. मेट्रो का कंस्ट्रक्शन कब तक खत्म हो जाएगा? 6 महीने, 7 महीने, 8 महीने, 10 महीने, 10 साल, 20 साल, what it is? Input means in the initial stage itself. That's what input is. When you do it. Output means what? How much time do I have to finish a project? Time as flow of events. What do you mean by flow of events? Step by step process. तो सब लोग सोच लिया demonetization, including myself. I had thought that demonetization is a good idea. Implementation was a little not on top notch, but still. तो demonetization में पुराने 1000 रुपए, 500 रुपए सब निकाल दिया. Good news. Then they made, then according to me, at least at that point, and many people, we felt that why did the government bring 2000 rupees? Iska, that is such a bad idea. But many like us, later we started understanding demonetization khatam nahi hua hai abhi bhi. It is an ongoing process. And that belief was cemented when nicely the government took out 2000 rupees also from the market. पुराना 1000 भी गया, पुराना 500 भी गया. अब आई नो नया 500 अभी भी है. दैट आई विल एग्री. नया 500 अभी भी है. लेकिन सोचो, what is the current digital transactions in the country? It is more than 86%. Whatever transactions are there, in that 86% is in digital format. only 14% or less than 14% is in cash format. In another 5 years, I'll keep 5 years only. 2029 ले लो. 2029 तक, don't you think this number would reach at least close to 99%? आराम से. Once it reaches 99%, where everybody is transacting in UPI, what should the government do? जिस तरह से 1000 निकाल दिया, 500 निकाल दिया, 2000 निकाल दिया, 500 को भी हटा दो. Then what will be remaining? Highest denomination will be rupees 200. उसको भी बाद में हटा दो. 100 है, उसको भी हटा दो. 50 रखो, हाईएस्ट डिनोमिनेशन 50 रुपए. बाकी सब डिजिटली हो रहा है. Nobody is keeping cash. End of the story. Getting the point here? It's an ongoing process. So कब कौन से इवेंट के बाद क्या? Next what? That is what time as a flow of events. एक इवेंट के बाद. तो पहला इवेंट 2016 में it happened. The other one I believe happened last year or something. 2000 rupees का. तो 16 के बाद 23. Almost 6-7 साल बाद. Again another 6-7 साल बाद take out 500. Then another 6-7 साल बाद take out 200. धीरे धीरे करके, because we are all reducing our cash transactions. So keep looking at the data and withdraw it. Time as the gap between two or more significant events or processes. Almost the same thing. Gap rakho. After each gap, do it off. After each thing, do the next. That is what it means. Keep it as a gap bhi rakho. Because whenever you bring any new scheme, you need to see how it will impact. Some schemes will give sudden impact. Some schemes it will take time. So you need to wait and watch before you can actually see the positive result of it. So just when some people say Swachh Bharat is a total flop, you will have to wait. At least 20 years you have to wait when it comes to schemes in the social sector like health and education related schemes जो है, कम से कम 20 साल तक आपको इंतजार करना ही पड़ेगा उसका असर देखने के लिए. क्लियर? टाइमिंग एज अ मैनेजमेंट पॉलिसी. ट्रू. आना जाना सब कुछ शुड बी बेस्ड ऑन टाइम ओनली. दैट इज वाई सेंट्रल सेक्टर में कुछ महीने पहले ओनली the central government issued an order telling that all central government servants should be there in the office by 9:30 a.m. on the dot. I don't know how many of you read this. If your parents ever told you सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट की नौकरी आराम से जाओ आराम से आ जाओ, वो जमाना गया. Because these things are no more based on you go there and you sign on one big register. No. This is also based on what? Biometric attendance. Now what is biometric attendance? ऑफिस में एक डब्बा होगा, एक बॉक्स. Here you will have the fingerprint scanner. Thumb जाकर रखना पड़ेगा. It will read it. Then attendance will be marked. And this thing is also what? Aadhaar linked. So let us say 9:30 to 9:45. Within that you should be there in the office. Mark the attendance. 9:45 निकाल कर 1 minute उस तरफ गया. Became 9:46. You mark the attendance means automatically from your leave half day will be deducted. Gaya. No more leave also. Leave will keep getting deducted every day when you keep coming in like that. लीव खत्म होने के बाद फिर क्या हो जाएगा? लॉस ऑफ पे. आधे दिन का सैलरी कट. Getting the point here? In another 5 years, I am telling you, state will take time, no doubt about it. But central government jobs, ऑल इंडिया सर्विस जॉब, ये दो नौकरियां जो है, you will have to perform or work just like, if not more than, in private sector. प्राइवेट सेक्टर में जितना प्रेशर है, जितना टेंशन है, उससे 10 गुना ज्यादा यू विल हैव प्रेशर एंड टेंशन हियर. गेटिंग द पिक्चर? आगे टाइम, या timing is essential for any organization as it is not a machine but an organism. Time has become a central strategic and moral concern in public administration. He lamented that time has been a neglected factor in government. Lamented means complained. Time has been a neglected factor. Time को किसी ने इंपॉर्टेंस नहीं दिया है. He complained, which is very true. आज भी in Indian government it is very, very true. Any doubts so far, people? Any questions? Okay. Now we come to the last topic, which is obviously criticism and conclusion. They did not clarify the principles. क्लैरिफिकेशन नहीं दिया था कि ये प्रिंसिपल्स क्या है भाई, इनका डेफिनेशन भी दे दो हमें ठीक तरह से. दैट दे डिड नॉट गिव, विच आर टिपिकली यूनिवर्सल ट्रूथ्स टू बी वेरीफाइड. यानी कि 29 प्रिंसिपल्स देने के बाद ये हमारा जिम्मेदारी बन गया कि प्रिंसिपल्स को जाकर वेरीफाई करना है हर जगह. क्या यहां पर ये काम करेगा? नहीं. वहां पर काम कर रहा है? हाँ काम कर रहा है. इट बिकेम आवर जॉब. They didn't give sufficient data telling that, see, our principles worked here, there, everywhere. No. They gave a set of principles that, ले लो, हर जगह जाकर अप्लाई करो. कहां, कैसे? No clarity there. That is why even when I gave you 29 principles, you would have seen that there is no definitions for anything. There is none actually. It is all just one word it is. Because they themselves did not clarify it clearly. क्या है ये? The principles of administration lacked validation. They are more like action recommendations than scientific principles, which is also true. Correct. Unity of command, order लाओ, discipline लाओ, ये करो, वो करो. Evidence कहाँ है? Where is the sabut? Just like Fayol, from the experience that they have made the principles. They did not actually conduct any test or any experiment or any research to prove that, हाँ, यहां पर यह काम करेगा. नहीं, यहां पर यह काम नहीं करेगा. No. Herbert Simon criticized principles as homely proverbs, myths, slogans, and inanities, arguing each principle has an equally plausible contradictory counterpart. Very interesting statement. Simon ने क्या कहा? Again, Simon is a thinker which we'll be dealing with later. Simon ने homely proverbs, घर का कुत्ता, sorry, धोबी का कुत्ता, ना घर का ना घाट का. It's a proverb, right? But then you have another slogan also, which is what? कुत्ता जैसा वफादार एनिमल को यू विल नेवर फाइंड इट इन एनीवेयर एल्स इन द वर्ल्ड. कुत्ते का जैसा प्यार हो, वफादार, अगर वफादार बनना है जिंदगी में, कुत्ता जैसा वफादार बनना चाहिए. They'll generally say that. You never say बिल्ली जैसा वफादार or any other animal you will never say. But with कुत्ता, when it comes to वफादारी, they will always say as faithful as a dog. Getting the point here? So both are contradictory, right? धोबी का कुत्ता ना घर का ना घाट का. Okay. On another side, you're telling kutta is the most friendliest, most nicest animal. So which one is nice then? Which should I go for? So धोबी also will be confused. ना घर का ना घाट का एक तरफ, दूसरे तरफ आप कह रहे हो वफादार अगर हो तो व्हाट इज इट, कुत्ता जैसा वफादार होना चाहिए. सो व्हाट शुड आई फॉलो देन? यू आर कंफ्यूज्ड. That is what Herbert Simon told about the what is it? These principles also. That is, they are just like proverbs, myths, slogans. आप इसे वेरीफाई नहीं कर सकते. You cannot verify this. And on top of it, they are contradictory also. For instance, specialization is advocated but not specified whether in area or function. That is, specialization के बारे में ये लोग बात कर रहे थे. किस बारे में? Specialization in what? In a particular activity or in a particular area. What should the specialization be on? Getting the picture? Should it be on a particular topic or should it be on a particular function? No clarity. Unity of command conflicts with specialization, leading to a dual control issues. क्यों? यूनिटी ऑफ कमांड क्या कहते हैं? सबसे ऊपर एक आदमी है ना? Everything flows from the top. Agreed. But specialization, when we say, we know that the specialist will ultimately listen to whom? Should he listen to the superior at the top? Or should he listen to the person who is an expert in the job? That is the question. So, ऊपर टॉप पर एक ऑफिसर है, मान लिया, लेकिन प्रॉब्लम है स्पेशलिस्ट जो है should I listen to my commander at the top or should I listen to the person who is an expert in the field? Confusion now. Getting the point? That is what Simon is telling. That is, they both are contradictory. Unity of command conflicts with specialization, leading to dual control issues. Efficiency requires minimal administrative levels, yet this contradicts the span of control principle. तो कोई भी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में when will efficiency increase? When will efficiency increase? Less levels or more levels? Can you tell me? Efficiency कब बढ़ेगा? अगर नंबर ऑफ लेवल्स ज्यादा है या नंबर ऑफ लेवल्स कम है? When will it increase? less. You are all clear on that. Now imagine this organization जो पहले से ही है, लेवल को कम करना है, reduce the hierarchy, decentralization, सारा पावर इधर मत रखो, बाकी में बांट लो, ठीक है. Second level पर you have two people. Third level you have three people coming under this superior, three people under the other superior. उन तीनों के नीचे हर ब्लू वाले के अंदर चार लोग हैं, हर ब्लू के अंदर अंडर में 1 4 4 into 3 you have total number of 12 subordinates coming under these three, 12 subordinates coming under these three. In 12 के नीचे again चार subordinate under each person, so 12 into 4 you have 48 here, 12 into 4 48 is 48. हर किसी एक के नीचे you have 96, यहां पर भी 96. So now you told me reduce the level so as to improve efficiency. So if I reduce the level and improve the efficiency, let us see what happens then. Same organization. So now what I do is I reduced the level. So reducing the level means I'll club these two first. Lower rank पर जो लोग हैं उन्हें क्लब कर देंगे. 96 and 48 is how much? You have 154, 154, 248. यानी कि सबसे नीचे लेवल पर 248 people are there. 120, 124 this side, 124 this side. Then उसके ऊपर you have 24 and here you have 6, 30. उनको भी मैंने क्लब किया. 15 इधर, 15 इधर. I'm doing nothing. I'm just clubbing the levels. 96, 48. 144. Oh, it's 144. Sorry. My addition went wrong. 144, 144. I'm clubbing the two levels. 96, 48, 144. Then 12, 12, 24, 24 plus 6, 30. ये दोनों लेवल क्लब कर दिया. देन उसके ऊपर just 2. Okay, 2. Then 1 here. Now if you notice, what Gulick and Ervik basically told was, one superior at any given point of time can handle a maximum of 6 subordinates. इसमें adjustment भी possible है, not a problem. But let us look at the number game here. 15 into 8 is 120. 15 into 9, 135. That means one senior here is handling more than 9. Same thing over here. Similarly, one senior here is handling 15 subordinates. Here also 15. What has happened? The span of control has increased. You try to reduce the hierarchy, span of control will increase. Chalo, span of control kam kar do. Officers, if you try to reduce, then what will happen? Hierarchy will increase. Decrease hierarchy, span of control increases. increase hierarchy, span of control decreases. That is why he said both are contradictory. You cannot reduce the hierarchy and reduce the span of control simultaneously. Simon's criticism this is. Any doubt so far? Taking the discussion further forward. Efficiency requires minimal administrative levels, yet this contradicts the span of control principle. The ideal number of subordinates lacks scientific validity. Again, ये कोई scientific basis पर इन लोगों ने कहा नहीं था कि 5 या 6, बस उनके एक्सपीरियंस के तजुर्बे के बेसिस पर उन लोगों ने दे दिया 5 या 6 मैक्सिमम. No scientific basis again. Simon viewed administrative principles as criteria for describing and diagnosing administrative situations. Administrative हालात जो है, less levels mean less number of jobs. Correct. I will agree with that, Prince. That is what is happening right now. Government circles may especially. Unemployment is going on increasing. People are going on telling, right? I will tell you one more reason for it. Why? Because you mentioned that point. I will mention it. What is happening is, driver का काम जो पहले जो था, driver, that is being outsourced. कैसे? Agency को दिया जा रहा है. Agency these days will send what? Agency will send the car and the driver. Government need not worry about the sales tax, insurance, this, nothing. हफ्ते का 5 दिन गाड़ी इस्तेमाल करने के लिए कितना? Based on that, they will send the car. Car is sent. पूरा बोर्ड सब कुछ होगा. But it is on rent. It is not the government's property. Government is just paying the rent only, not even bothered about the diesel. Diesel सब कुछ वो कंपनी भरेगा, मेंटेनेंस वो कंपनी, एक्सीडेंट हो गया कंपनी जिम्मेदार है, सब वो कंपनी. मतलब क्या है? नो मोर ड्राइवर का जॉब. व्हाट अबाउट प्यून? प्यून्स या फिर क्लीनिंग वर्कर्स, क्लीनिंग स्टाफ, that is also outsourced. Automatically what is happening? Lesser and lesser people. अब ये पूरा ऑनलाइन होने के चक्कर में क्या हो गया? सब कुछ has become online. There is no more thing called as a cashier in government jobs. पहले कैशियर होते थे, उनका काम सिर्फ ये करना है कैश मेंटेन करो, the balance, keep checking what has come from the government and how much money is there, keep checking it. हफ्ते भर बस उनका एक ही काम है, सैलरी, पैसे, अकाउंट्स करेक्ट है, that is their only job. और कैशियर का कैश रखने वाला एक जगह था, जैसे कि एक सेफ डिपॉजिट, बिग बॉक्स यूज्ड टू बी देयर, पैसे भरते थे उसके अंदर, एंड वो बॉक्स रखने जो भी जगह जहां पर आपने रखा है उसके बाहर यू विल हैव अ गनमैन. Nothing is there today. जब सब कुछ ऑनलाइन हो गया है, why do you need a cashier? And when there is no more cash, why do you need a gunman to guard it? Posts have decreased like anything in government. Like anything. And with more and more usage of technology coming into place, trust me, In the future, what is going to happen is many jobs will get clubbed together. Like I am telling, this is my personal opinion again. Don't write it in the exam because we are having a discussion. I'm telling this. My personal opinion ये है कि एक दिन ये भी आएगा जहां पर इनकम टैक्स जीएसटी दोनों डिपार्टमेंट को क्लब कर दे विल बेसिकली से सेंट्रल बोर्ड ऑफ टैक्सेस. खत्म खत्म बात. जब सब कुछ ऑनलाइन हो रहा है, व्हेन गवर्नमेंट रियली नोस हर एक आदमी कितना पैसा खर्च कर रहा है, कहां कहां खर्च कर रहा है, व्हेन गवर्नमेंट नोस द डिटेल, व्हाई डू यू नीड टू सेपरेट ऑफिसेस? व्हाई डू यू नीड इट? That is the future. Offices can get merged, clubbed, amalgamated with more and more technology. Getting the point here? तब क्या हो जाएगा? Subordinates का number less, span of control भी कम हो जाएगा, hierarchy भी कम हो जाएगा, दोनों तरफ से. Clear? तो he basically said that administrative principles are what? बस ये पता करने के लिए है कि हालात क्या है, प्रॉब्लम क्या है एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन का और सॉल्यूशन क्या होगा इसका. डिपार्टमेंटल ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस ऑफन क्लैश ड्यू टू वेगनेस एंड ओवरलैप. ट्रू. क्लैरिटी ना होने के वजह से डिपार्टमेंटल ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस ओवरलैप. बेस्ट एग्जाम्पल इज द रोड कंस्ट्रक्शन इन अवर कंट्री. एक रोड होगा जो पूरी तरीके से घिसा पिटा हुआ होकर, देयर वोंट बी एनी टार, नथिंग. एवरी डे वी आर गोइंग ऑन टॉप ऑफ इट, गुडुंग 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 गुडुंग. वन फाइन डे वी विल सी पूरा टार लगाकर दे हैव मेड इट मस्त, चकाचक, एकदम झकास. ट्रू. दे मेड इट झकास. यू विल फील वाह, फाइनली दे हैव मेड अ प्रॉपर रोड. जस्ट वेट 2 weeks. What will happen? Telecom Regulatory Authority of India, from TRAI, Department of Telecommunication, those idiots will come. They will dig the road. Why? Cable डालना है. अरे दो cable you could have put in when before the road construction, right? What were you waiting till then? And what will they do? गड्ढे तो खोलेंगे. बड़े बड़े cable ऐसे round round round. You would have seen it. Big cables like this in big circles. They will come there, they'll just drop it. Aaj ka kaam khatam, go. The cable will be lying there. Mud on another side will be there. Very less space will be there for the vehicles to go. Some people will fall into it. So keep happening. Zero coordination between the concerned agencies. Zero coordination. Principles prescribe rather than describe how work should be divided. अब ये क्या है? Prescribe और describe. Prescribe का मतलब है जैसे prescription of a doctor. डॉक्टर के prescription के तरह, हाँ ये दवाई खाओ, 2 दवाई डिनर से पहले, 2 दवाई डिनर के बाद में. That is prescription. What to do. But they don't actually tell you how to do it. That they are not telling. How to do it. Unity of command, agreed. कैसे करूं? Unity of direction, how should I ensure it? No clarity on that. They only prescribe. ये करो, ये करो, ये करो, ये करो, ये करो. ठीक है, कैसे भैया? No idea. Organizations evolve to fit efficiency and goals, allowing integration of all 4 bases in one. मतलब क्या है? मतलब जैसे मैंने कहा था 4 bases are there, 4P. Place, process, people, purpose. ये 4 आप एक ही ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में भी इंटीग्रेट कर सकते हैं. जरूरी नहीं है कि चारों को अलग अलग करो. All the 4 also can be integrated into one. Classical administrative theory neglects the human element, deeming certain elements insignificant to processes, treating humans merely as instruments. Classical administrative theory. Whenever we say classical administrative theory, we are basically talking about Woodrow Wilson, F.W. Taylor, Henry Fayol, Gulick Ervik, plus the next thinker that we are going to do, Max Weber. लेकिन एक सवाल है यहां, गुलिक और अर्विक को हम कैसे कैसे कह सकते हैं कि ही इग्नोर्ड द ह्यूमन एलिमेंट, जब पहले उन्होंने ये थियरी सब कुछ दे दिया था, 29 प्रिंसिपल्स हो या पोस्ट कॉर्ब हो, ही डिड नॉट गिव एम्फोसिस टू ह्यूमन बीइंग्स, ट्रू। लेकिन बाद में 50 साल बाद ही बेसिकली टोल्ड ultimate guiding factor for public administration is human beings, welfare of human beings, human values, compassionate or compassion, all these things should be the primary concern. Getting the point? Lekin once again he has prescribed it. He did not tell कि कैसे ये सब करे भैया, how to do it, how to show compassion, what values should I be focusing on, how to ensure the welfare of human beings. The how part he did not explain. Not only him, even if you take Woodrow Wilson, Taylor, Fayol, Gulick Ervik, etc., in sub में, even Max Weber also, they only prescribed things. क्या करना है, क्या करना है, क्या करना है, कैसे कैसे लोगों का भला possible is possible, that they did not mention. Clear? The Human Relations School emerged, focusing on behavioral studies and treating organizations as human associations. Assigning duties doesn't guarantee optimal employee effort. Human behavior, that is, Human Relations School emerged, focusing on behavioral studies and treating organizations as human associations. This came later. All right, this we will be discussing after Weber. So I am leaving it for that. After Weber. So that time this will become more clear. Just because you assign duties does not mean what? Does not mean optimal employee effort. आपने ड्यूटी देने का मतलब यह नहीं है कि लोग एकदम एफिशिएंटली काम करेंगे. ह्यूमन बिहेवियर इन्वॉल्व्स साइकोलॉजिकल एंड फिजियोलॉजिकल प्रोसेसेस. मतलब आदमी जो है शुड बी मेंटली प्लस फिजिकली fit. Personal or dynamic variables adjusted to approximate job requirements. Human resource variability limits mechanistic organizational approaches. मतलब क्या है? इंसान जो है बहुत डायनामिक है. You know it when you are also preparing. Some days will be good days. Some days will be bad days. Keep changing. We are easily affected by what happens at our home, what happens within the family, within our loved ones, friends, etc., society, relatives, all of that. All of that will have an impact on our mental peace, and that will have an impact on our output. So without factoring all of that, expecting people to work like robots is nothing but what? Madness. All right. Aage. Constant motivation is essential for goal achievement, but classical theorists left motivation incomplete and inaccurate. Classical theorists जो है मोटिवेशन के बारे में ना कुछ ज्यादा बोला था, और जहां तक उनके आइडिया ऑफ मोटिवेशन क्या था? पैसा, मनी, साइंटिफिक डिवीजन, प्लेसमेंट, ट्रेनिंग. पैसा दे दो, वर्कर्स को साइंटिफिकली सेलेक्ट करो, अच्छे तरह काम को डिवाइड करो, प्लेस द वर्कर्स करेक्टली अकॉर्डिंग टू देयर एबिलिटी, सब कुछ सही हो जाएगा. It does not mean that classical theorists were not aware of the human element. Gulick believed that any experiment with human beings would end up with interference from human beings compounded by proportions of predictable and unpredictable or rational or emotional content. From these observations, it is evident that the classical theorists were aware of the human element. However, they took into consideration only the rational element. मतलब क्या है? Classical theorists knew about the human element. Woodrow Wilson also mentioned about it. That is in his second essay, he basically told we must focus on health, education, government, all those things we should focus. Taylor also told we should focus on workers, fatigue study, time study. Fayol Biho, he also mentioned the same thing कि उनके principles are not watertight. आप अगर चाहो तो और भी इसके साथ जोड़ दो. Gulick and Ervik also said the same thing. But where is the missing link here? The missing link is they basically thought that all workers will take perfectly rational decisions. हमेशा सोच समझकर ही सारा फैसला ले लेंगे. That is the mistake they made. And one thing what Gulick said here, any experiment with human beings would end up with interference from human beings. Ye sentence B, I'm marking it and keeping it because this we will need when we are doing Hawthorne experiment. Elton Mayo. Okay, that time we will discuss this. Simon highlighted human irrationality neglected by classical theorists who overlook the subjective aspect of rationality. Simon ने क्या कहा? Simon basically told, देखो, इंसान is all capable of taking stupid decisions. Absolutely true. Many what is it? Ashiks are there. Generally, you will see men will hit the gym, men will start preparing for UPSC just because they were rejected by somebody. Very rarely you will find a female going and preparing for UPSC or hitting the gym just because she got rejected by somebody. They'll take care of their life. But many ashiks, if you see, they keep on doing these things. Mostly, we can see men ending up taking very stupid decisions also when it comes to love. Not telling that women are not capable of it, but men in India especially take it to the next level possible. All right. Human behavior again. Gulick and Ervik emphasized formal organization over informal. What is formal organization? Government का एक structure है. Clear? Following only that. Similarly, private company, उनका एक structure है. Following only that. What is informal? Like our formal group will be the Telegram group. Informal group will be what? You students and all मिलकर एक Telegram group अगर form किया, that is informal. Human behavior often diverges from intention. सही बात है. Even if I tell you to sit and study also, you will forget that and you will be wasting time online. Classical theorists ignored administration's dynamic evolving nature. Administration जो है will keep on evolving. I told you again. 50s, 60s only paperwork. Today, central government में खास कर. So you will all be thinking, right? एक बार clear हो जाए. For green ink से I will sign my name. है ना? You all would have thought ग्रीन पेन कुछ लोग खरीद कर भी प्रैक्टिस भी कर रहे होंगे. मेरा साइन एकदम तगड़ा होगा. Sad news. No more. By the time you enter the service, 100% e-office would have happened in the central level. यानी कि जितने भी मिनिस्ट्रीज या डिपार्टमेंट्स है सेंट्रल लेवल पर, सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट से जुड़े हुए जितने भी डिपार्टमेंट्स हैं, वहां पर सारा it will be only electronic file system. Just like how you are having a Facebook profile, you will be given an official email ID with a password. You type in the password, type in the user ID, everything. You will see the files in the scanned format, electronic format. वहां पर यू कैन ओनली डू व्हाट, डिजिटल सिग्नेचर. ग्रीनिंग गया डैश में, नो मोर ग्रीनिंग. दैट इज द करंट थिंग. मैक्सिमम 26 27 उसके अंदर हो जाएगा. Organizational goals evolve due to economic, social, and political influences. Gulick noted that principles suitable at one stage may not apply later. सही बात है. You have to, things will keep evolving. Like we saw already, 3 farm bills government ने लाया था पहले. Social, political situation सब कुछ देखने के बाद गवर्नमेंट ने क्या किया, यू टर्न मार दिया. करेक्ट. जब वो लाया था तब सही लग रहा था, बाद में लगा नहीं सही नहीं है, पीछे ले लिया. Classical theorists largely overlooked the concept of change, badlav. Classical theorists were not prepared for what, things like 26/11 की अटैक जो था, COVID-19, इन जैसे हालतों में क्या करना चाहिए, they have no answer for that. Other criticisms from Simon and March, improper motivational assumptions. Why? They only gave importance to money. They did not talk about any other thing. Overlooked intra-organizational conflict. Organization के अंदर ही conflict के लिए बहुत सारा scope है. How to solve? They did not tell that. Human cognitive limitations in information processing. इंसान के पास उतना वक्त भी नहीं है, मेंटल कैपेसिटी भी नहीं है टू प्रोसेस इंफॉर्मेशन. सो इन सच अ सिचुएशन, जब इंटेलेक्ट कम है, डिसीशंस कैन बिकम इरेशनल. इंपॉर्टेंस ऑफ प्रोग्राम इवैल्यूएशन, मतलब क्लासिकल थिंकर्स ने रिव्यू के लिए कोई जगह ही नहीं छोड़ा है. यानी कि वी इंप्लीमेंटेड अ स्कीम, क्या वो स्कीम काम कर रहा है या नहीं, इसके लिए आपको उसका रिव्यू करना पड़ेगा. किसका भला हो गया, कितना नुकसान हो गया, कितना खर्च हो गया, एक्सेट्रा एक्सेट्रा. So basically, there is no way of knowing it because no classical theorist has talked about a review. They basically said that बस principles follow करो बेटा, तेरा काम हो जाएगा. काम हो रहा है या नहीं, जाकर देख लो. That they never told. It was wrong to assume that the organization will not be concerned with the specifications, elaboration, and redefinition of goals. यानी कि जो भी एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन ने टारगेट रखा है, उनके गोल या मिशन या एम कुछ भी हो, वो बदल सकता है, वो परमानेंट नहीं रहेगा. इट विल कीप चेंजिंग. दैट इज हाउ इट इज सपोज्ड टू बी. एनी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन शुड बी रेडी टू चेंज according to the environment. Their goals should change, everything should change. Only then they will become relevant. Varna, the organization will fail. Classical theorists face criticism for lacking sophistication, offering theories resembling commonplace knowledge rather than intellectual curiosity. जो भी theories इन लोगों ने दे दिया है, if you read it, it is not sounding like something too great. It is almost like common sense. ये तो कॉमन सेंस है. कोई अगर ज्यादा काम कर रहा है तो उसको पैसा ज्यादा दे दो. अगर कोई डिसिप्लिन नहीं मेंटेन कर रहा है तो उसको पनिश करो. These are normal things. It is not that something new you are telling us. है ना? They are accused of being biased towards management. Biased towards management means it is all in the favor of management. Despite their simplicity, These principles were acknowledged by Simon, who termed them proverbs. However, they do not encompass all aspects of administration. Both classical and contemporary writers share interest in structure, economy, efficiency, conflict resolution, authority, delegation, and decentralization. Today, administrators are recognized as models of technical, professional, and moral behavior. Bottom line, final conclusion kya hai? See, it is understood. If you're talking about any organization, what is the first and most important criteria? The first and most important criteria will be that it should have a structure. That is very, very important. But structure alone will solve all the problems. No, you need to have other aspects also inside it. All right. So, any doubts, people? Any questions? Coming to core ideas. Core ideas, again, nothing much. Lack of structure is illogical, cruel, wasteful, and inefficient. 29 principles, whatever they gave. All right. From investigation to all the way till unity. Executive functions include post-corp, theory of departmentalization, which consists of 4 P's, staff principle. These 3 things we will require later also. Delegation, span of control, human factor, and time in public administration. Time as an input. Like when are you doing something? Demonetization ka timing. Article 370 abrogation. Surgical strike. Balakot air strike. Output. Kab tak. Flow of events between two processes. Like I told you, demonetization. पहले पुराना 1000 और पुराना 500, फिर नया वाला 2000. आगे आगे दिस इज माई प्रेडिक्शन, 500 भी निकल जाएगा, 200 भी निकल कर जाएगा, 100 भी निकल कर जाएगा. Cash transactions will literally come to zero. It will be very, very, very difficult to actually keep black money. Very difficult. Gap between 2 or more events or processes. Like I told you, when you're investing, like Swachh Bharat mission, we want to know whether this is successful or not. Wait for another 10 years. 2034. That is when we can literally take a analysis of it and see क्या करना है इसके अंदर आगे. Now, feedback, motivation, leadership, communication, informal groups, behavior. Feedback पे बारे में we know they didn't say anything. Motivation, they only talked about economic. Leadership पूरा formal ही था because they only believed in formal organization. Communication भी formal ही था. Informal groups नहीं. Behavior नहीं. Any doubts here in this last portion? Previous year questions and not a single directly Even indirectly also nothing has come. All right. So far from 14 I'm telling, sorry, 2013 से no direct question has come from this topic on Gulick and Ervik. Clear? तो ये थिंकर अगर आप सबसे लास्ट में मैं देख लूंगा, इवन इफ यू टेक अ डिसीजन लाइक दैट, इट इज स्टिल ओके. Clear, people? So with that, we wind up today's class. All right. Let's call it a day. Tomorrow, very important because we are starting with Max Weber. All right. So don't miss out. आज के बाद, whichever pub class is there is going to be very, 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 very important. So far, the other thinkers, not that they are not important, but it was just an introduction. Max Weber से game शुरू हो रहा है. The game is starting from Max Weber because Max Weber gave only one theory, and that is bureaucracy, जिसके लिए आप सब इतने तड़प तड़प कर तैयारी कर रहा है. So that entire discussion will revolve around your job only. And we will be requiring him even for our paper 2 and everywhere. All right. So